Hi, welcome to our video about Hanoi and Cat Ba Island. As you can see, I'm sat outside, so please bear with me if you hear any horns. It's not me, it's the cars. We actually stayed in two hostels in Hanoi because we were in Hanoi, went to Cat Ba Island and then came back to Hanoi. But on our second time being in Hanoi, in our second hostel, we stayed in a really nice place that had a swimming pool that Jim really enjoyed. And the hostel was called Little Charm Hostel. It didn't have a little charm, it had a lot of charm. It was a lovely place to stay. When we were in Indonesia, in Gili Meno, we met a guy called Vincent, and he actually lives in Hanoi. So as soon as we knew the exact date that we were going to Hanoi, we sent him a message and hung out with him quite a lot whilst we were there. He took us to one of his little favourite noodle spots, and then after we had a bit of a catch up on what each of us have been doing over the last few months, we went to Train Street. Basically it's where the train goes right through the middle of the city. It looks really cool. It's really cool because there's loads of cafes set up along the track so you can sit from a safe distance and watch the trains go by. And yeah, it was just a nice little afternoon and we had a few drinks and stuff, so that was cool. One of my favourite things that we actually did with Vincent is he took us to, he called it Hippie Square, so now I keep calling it Hippie Square, and it's this really lovely little area that's a bit off the beaten track, and there's a few cafes, second-hand stores, and it was just really nice, really calm. It reminded me a little bit of where we live in Manchester actually, so that was really nice, felt like being home again. And yeah, we just went there for a little coffee, and it was just such a nice little area. And one of my favourite things, always being in a place where we're the only tourists there, always feels quite nice as well. On an evening, as you do, especially in Hanoi because it's everywhere, we had a few beers. So yeah, we just hung out. We actually went back to a bar that's next to the railway line again, so we could watch more trains go past. Had some rice wine, that was very fun. And we also met up with a lovely guy called Chris.
Hello.
Who, mine and Jim's friend from home. His best friend is Chris. Are you keeping up with me? Probably not. And yeah, we just all hung out, had some beers, and got a little bit merry.
Cupcakes for everybody. Hi, Chris.
We woke up early one morning and we went to go and check out Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. Didn't really know what to expect, so we queued up for a while. You're not allowed to film inside. You kind of go into the mausoleum. It's dark, it's quite cold, and you just have to sort of walk around Ho Chi Minh, but you can't stop. So some people pay their respects and might bow and stuff, but you kind of have to keep walking. But it was really interesting. He looked like a wax figure almost. His skin was didn't look real. Probably not helped by the lighting and things, but it was so interesting to see. It was really fascinating. And then as we were leaving, Jim got how should I describe this? A lot of attention by a group of women, not mostly because obviously Jim's great, but they loved how tall he is and they loved his beard, so he got a lot of attention, which was absolutely hilarious. And he was in his element. It was probably the best 5 minutes of Jim's trip so far, that 5 minutes. We went to Cat Ba for a couple of days, and on one of the days we just hired a scooter just to sort of drive around. Cat Ba's quite small and there aren't really many roads there, so it was quite easy to see a lot of Cat Ba in a day with a scooter. But it was really nice. It was beautiful scenery, really nice to drive around. One place that we did visit is called Hospital Cave, and basically during the Vietnamese War, this cave was actually used as a headquarters and a hospital for soldiers and important people. So it was interesting. It was quite small, there's not much to see there, but they have put in these really, I find, quite creepy dolls to kind of show you what each room was used for. So yeah, it was a fun day just sort of riding around and checking Cat Ba out. My favourite thing that we did in Cat Ba was a Halong Bay boat trip. You know, we may be backpacking, but we went for the bougie option. It wasn't much more than the others, and to be honest, I think they won us over because they showed us pictures of the boat, but we didn't see pictures of the other boats. On the first stop, we went to the Viet Hai village. It's actually on Capa Island, but the only way that you can get there is either by boat, like we did, or you can like trek through the jungle, but I think it takes like between like 2 and 4 hours. So it is a little bit closed off from like the rest of Capa Island. And the first thing that we did in the Viet Hai village was try some rice wine. Jim jumped straight into the deep end and tried Cobra rice wine, excuse the beeps, and he also tried scorpion rice wine as well. I went for like the safer end and tried honey rice wine, which was delicious. Whilst we were in Viet Hai, we also went to a little stream that had those fish, I don't know what they're called, where they like eat the dead skin on your toes and your feet. Jim stuck his foot in and the fish were like nipping away, chewing away, and he just thought it was like really ticklish. I put my foot in. Granted, I did kind of maybe from afar a little bit because I was a bit nervous. I don't like the idea of fish touching me, let alone eating me. But then like they just weren't interested at all. And then I put my foot next to Jim's. They were eating Jim's but not mine. So I actually thought that was a great experience because I didn't have to have my feet touched. But I tried it. After Viet Hai, we stopped in a really lovely area and just had this huge buffet lunch, which was lovely. And then our next destination was to go kayaking. That was just so fun. I think the best thing about like this boat trip is we did like quite a few different activities, but each like activity you had so much time to do it, so we weren't rushing around. On some trips they're like, okay, kayak, 10 minutes, get back. Whereas this one, I think we were on the water for like at least an hour. And it was just gorgeous. We just stopped kayaking around. We went through a few caves. We also saw a couple of monkeys as well. Golden-headed macaws? No, golden-headed lemurs. Yeah, I think they're called golden-headed lemurs. They were quite far away, so we couldn't really like film them or anything, but we could see them like running along the beach. That was so cool. And yeah, and it was like a beautiful sunny day as well, so kayaking was so much fun. After the kayaking, we went to kind of like a beachy area, and we basically just, it's a bit like free time really. Some people like jumped off the boat, some people decided to like swim. There was a beach nearby so you could like jump off and swim and snorkel and stuff. Jim jumped off, nailed it. I had to take a little bit of Dutch courage, so I had a bit of rice wine to give me the courage to finally jump off a boat. Not just like from like ground level. I was on the second floor. It was terrifying. I did it. I'm really happy I did it. It was good. And after all of the fun of the day, and to be honest, I like to think to celebrate my big victory of jumping, we all had a lot of beer, a bit of rice wine, they played some music. Everyone that we were on the boat with were just really lovely, so we just had a nice afternoon, and as we drove back as well, the sun was setting. We also went for like a couple of beers with them after as well, so that was nice. So far we've had such a great time in Vietnam. Hanoi is crazy but awesome. It was really nice to spend some more time with Vincent, and the boat trip on Capa was just well worth the money. Next, we are actually going to meet up with Jim's family, so you won't be seeing this beautiful face for a few weeks. I know you'll miss me, but it's okay, I'll still be in the videos. I'm still going to make sure that Jim films me. Just joking. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye!